Welcome to EPG Pathshala in the subject of information technology and in the paper of open source software. In this module, we will study an open source software that is used for sniffing packets in the network. It is also known as a protocol analyzer, or we can also say packet sniffer, or we can say network sniffer. So, the learning objectives for this module are: we will try to understand what is meant by sniffing, what are the advantages of packet sniffing in the network. Then we will discuss a widely used open source software which is known as Wireshark. So, throughout the module we will see some features of Wireshark that can be helpful for the network administrators and for the students. We will see different capabilities that are provided by Wireshark, like capturing of packets, what are the different filters that can be applied, and we will also see few utilities which can help network engineers or network administrator to optimize their network. So, friends, let us begin with the discussion of packet sniffers. As we know, a network can be wired or wireless. In a network, the data is flowing in the means of packets. So, on wire, whenever the data flows, the data is assembled in such a way that there are protocols and for which there will be headers. So, if you can recall, there is an OSI model or there can be a TCP IP model, there are several layers, and when the application layer inserts data, it gradually travels through bottom layers, and finally, from the physical layer the data will go to the network. So, when we say packet sniffer or when we say network sniffer, the program captures data from the wire. So, there are certain programs, we call them sniffers, which capture the data from wire and give us an analysis or kind of report to the user. Now, depending on the type of utilities, different sniffers can sniff or capture different or various type of packets. As you know, the protocols are being developed. Now and then new protocols they come into picture. For instance, there are real time applications which did not occur few years back. There are voice over IP kind of applications. There are protocols that support voice or media, streaming media kind of protocols. So, although there are lot of sniffers or lot of utilities available, we will focus on Wireshark, which is a widely used packet sniffer. So, let us see what are the features, or let us go through an overview of packet sniffer. As you can see on the slide, the process of capturing and interpreting data is known as packet analysis. We can also call them packet sniffing or protocol analysis. And the tool that does packet analysis is known as packet sniffer. As I said, there are several tools that can be useful to understand the network. We can see what is happening in the network, what kind of data is flowing, whether the network is overloaded or whether it is not being utilized properly. So, the tool which we call packet sniffer or protocol analyzer, they capture raw network data. The network can be a wired network or wireless network. Now, the application of packet analyzers can be: you can understand the network characteristics, we can model the network, the flow of network. For a student, it will be helpful to learn protocols and to learn networking. We can know how the network is being utilized and by whom it is being utilized. We can monitor the network bandwidth. In case if there are malicious software or malicious users, we can track the malicious activities that are being taken in our network. We can also determine unsecured applications. For instance, Telnet is an example of unsecured application. So, if we are using Telnet, we can easily detect the username passwords, they are not being encrypted, they flow as it is through the network. And we can also identify the network usage, the peak times when the network is highly used. So, these are few applications of packet analyzer. Now, Wireshark, as I said, it is a widely used packet analyzer. Wireshark, earlier it was known as Ethereal. Wireshark, the development started as Ethereal in 1998. Now, the Wireshark software, it is licensed under GNU GPL license. So, you can freely download the software, you can reuse, you can modify, you can also share with others, since it is GNU GPL licensed version. As I said, Wireshark, earlier it was Ethereal, now it is known as Wireshark. Wireshark can be deployed over Windows and it can also be deployed over Linux. Wireshark comes with command line interface and graphical user interface. The command line interface is a bit different software which we call T-Shark. So, as you can see on the screen, the development of Wireshark was started in 1998 by Gerald Combs. Earlier, before Wireshark, a TCP dump software was being used. So, those who are Linux professionals, the earlier professionals, they might have been used TCP dump, they might be familiar with TCP dump. TCP dump was a command line interface, while Wireshark will provide a good graphical user interface. And as I said, the command line variant of Wireshark is T-Shark. Now, let us quickly go through the features of Wireshark. Wireshark is a highly updated software. The cycle of development is quite fast. It can support wireless LAN, it can support the wired media, it can also support USB reading. As I said, it also supports the recent technologies Ethernet, IEEE 802.11, that is wireless technologies, PPP, and also supports loopback addresses. It has a graphical user interface and there is support for command line interface. So, Wireshark will capture packets. The packets can be saved as files and we can also modify those files, for which we need a separate program, that is EditCap. Wireshark is quite good in displaying the data. We will see in future there will be a colorful screen. Each packet can be classified based on the colors, and Wireshark being an open source software, lot of plugins are being created. Even the student community are invited to create plugins to enforce the new protocols that are being developed. Wireshark does support real time protocols, it also supports VoIP calls, it also supports secure protocols which can be captured through the traffic. Now, who uses Wireshark? So, Wireshark can be used by students to analyze the network traffic. We can decode packet protocols. We will see in the future slides, each protocol has header which can be decoded, each field can be studied. The person can define filters to capture and display different type of packets. There is a provision of smart statistics. So, it also shows graphical pictures. We can monitor the throughput of network, we can monitor the round trip time, etc. And it can help in analyzing problems, and it has also support through browser. So, we can interactively browse the traffic over the network. Now, as I said, Wireshark can be helpful to the administrators, to security engineers, to the system developers or application developers, and naturally the students will benefit from Wireshark. Administrators can troubleshoot the network problems, security engineers can examine the security issues and make the network more secure. System developers, those who develop protocols, they can debug the implementations of protocol. Application developers or those who are software programmers, they can debug their applications. So, if there is any fault in the application and if the application is not sending encrypted data, it can be easily detected by Wireshark. And the students, they can learn networking, they can learn the internals of protocol using Wireshark. Few books have also incorporated Wireshark as an exercise. It is part of the curriculum in few universities as well. So, this is a brief about Wireshark. As I said, it is quite helpful for the students. Most of the books, they discuss protocols, they discuss headers of the protocol, And if you want to dig deep into the headers, what is header, how the data goes into header, naturally Wireshark is a good choice. You can install Wireshark. There are several sites available. You can download the Wireshark software from wireshark.org. You can install it, either it is Windows or Linux, it is supported. Wireshark is a graphical user interface. Each packet is identified by a row. So, when we start capturing packets, then the scrolling will start and you can see one by one packet coming in. Let us see the screen of Wireshark, what kind of user interface is given by the Wireshark. So, as you can see over here, this is the window of Wireshark. It is a snapshot, means I have captured few packets. So, we can divide the screen into three parts. This first part, that the colorful part, is the list of packets. Each line, the pink or blue line, they indicate packets. You can see the protocol. First packet is of ICMP, the another is also of ICMP, and so on. There are protocols. Now, these protocols, they indicate packets. So, there has to be source and destination, from which source to which destination the packet was traveling, and brief information is also given over here. So, when we start capturing the packets, we will get the list of packets over here. We can customize the screen, we can increase or decrease through the bar over here. When you click on any single packet, by clicking on this packet, it will display the headers of this packet. For instance, this is a SNMP header, Simple Network Management Protocol. SNMP data travels through UDP. UDP uses Internet Protocol and Ethernet frames. So, this part, it contains the details of a single packet. As I said, the top part is list of packets. When you click on any single packet, this will pop up, the middle part will be seen, and when you click over here, you can see the internal data, what kind of data is flowing in the packet. So, this is a standard Wireshark screen. I have already captured few packets and it is being displayed over here. Now, let us go into detail of these packets. So, how do we start capturing packets? Now, this is the initial interface. When we start Wireshark, you will get this kind of interface. From this capture menu, we have options like interfaces, some other options, start, and so on. There is also a capture filters option over here. So, when we want to start capturing packets, we go to the capture menu and we click on interfaces. You can see there are two interfaces. So, when we click on interfaces, if the system has multiple interfaces, it will list over here. Now, since over here there are two interfaces, one is Ethernet driver. So, this is a LAN card and the other is wireless network connection. So, this is wireless card. Laptops can have two interfaces, servers will have two interfaces, but servers generally do not have wireless interface, whereas laptops, they have Ethernet as well as wireless interface. Now, when we see there are IPs given to these interfaces, from this you can see the wireless interface is on because it shows packets. There are packets that are being receiving or being sent. So, by clicking on start button, we start the packet capturing. Let us again go through the previous slide. So, this is the welcome screen of Wireshark. You will click on capture, then you will go to the interface. When you click here, you can see the interfaces that are available, and by clicking on start, your packet capturing will start. Now, there are other options which can be configured, and you can also display the details of your interface. Details like what is the bandwidth available, etc. Those details can be displayed by clicking on details, and by clicking on options, you can see different options. So, let us go through the options first and then we will see the details of this wireless interface. So, when we click on options, you will get the screen. These are the capture options that are available. here there is a tick, capture packets in Prometheus mode. So, it is capturing live packet. We can further specify whether we want to limit packets by size or whether we want to capture on time basis. So, you can specify at what time the capture has to stop. When you enable this, it will pop up with the number of packets by size or by time. These fields are disabled since these are not clicked, but you can selectively click how many packets you want to capture, and then the interface will stop, or by size or by time. So, there are options that can be configured to capture packets. Now, let us see the details part. When you click on the details, you will see this screen. This is for wireless interface. There is something like SSID, BSSID. These are the wireless identifiers, the bandwidth at which it is operating, encryption, transmission power, what is the speed of link. The bandwidth is here 54 Mbps, it is 802.11 interface, that is why. So, these are the details of the interface. You can also check whether your interface is functioning properly or not from these details, and there are few other details. They are listed at the bottom of this screen. So, this is the interface details that are provided by Wireshark. Now, let us move ahead. The Wireshark interface has recently modified. It is available on few systems. So, this is a modified interface. Earlier, as I said, the old versions they had capture interface like this, but the newer versions they directly show the interface. When you start the Wireshark analyzer, it will show the interfaces in the capture welcome screen. So, you can see the Wi-Fi interface is working, LAN is not connected. So, the line is not displaying any fluctuations, and there is a VirtualBox application installed. So, you can see some VirtualBox traffic over here. Now, when we analyze packets, what details we get? Let us quickly browse through the Ethernet frames and different packets that can be analyzed through the Wireshark screen. Before this, let me explain how the OSI model or the OSI layer works. So, as I said earlier, in networking there is an OSI model, the data application layer, it sends data to the bottom layer. So, there are session presentation layers, then there is a transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and finally, we have physical layer. There is another TCP IP model which also works on the same lines. Now, suppose if I am typing some data, if I want to send some chat message to another user, so I am generating data that is for application layer. Now, this data will go to the presentation layer, then it will go to the session layer. In some cases, the layers can be skipped, then there is transport layer. So, as the data moves downwards from the application layer to the physical layer, each layer has a functionality of protocol. Protocol will add the headers to those data, and as the data moves downwards, the headers keep on adding. So, Wireshark is a very good tool if you want to see the headers. Data is already there, but if you want to dig into the headers, the fields of header, we can browse through the Wireshark software. So, the screen which is over here, it shows the Ethernet frame. Ethernet frames are constructed at data link layer. So, let us see on this screen what can be displayed by Wireshark. Here, when you click on any packet, now this is FTP packet, FTP is the application file transfer protocol. So, when the FTP application is running, this kind of Ethernet frame is created. You can see there are collapsible buttons over here. So, Ethernet frame, you can see the source and destination address. Source address, this is the physical address, and there is destination address. And the Ethernet frame is being used by IP. So, these are the features of the header of Ethernet frame. the fields of Ethernet are listed over here. So, when you click on any packet at the topmost part of the screen, then for each packet it will display the frame, the raw data Ethernet frame. Then you can see at the bottom there is IP, Internet Protocol, there is Transmission Control Protocol TCP, and finally, the application protocol is FTP. So, when you click on these plus sign, it will display the header of each protocol. This is Ethernet frame. The next screen is of IP, Internet Protocol. So, you can see when I click on the plus sign of IP, it displays the header of Internet Protocol. If you are familiar with the Internet Protocol, IP uses IP addresses. So, here you can see the source address and destination addresses are IP addresses. Then the version number IPv4 is being used, length of header, and these are the different fields of IP. Time to live is a field that is used by routers. So, whether the packet has arrived through routers or whether it has arrived directly through the server, you can identify from TTL values. If this value is 128, means the packet is directly delivered. If the value is smaller, then probably the packet has arrived through routers. Checksum is also calculated, and you can see the checksum is true, or that is correct. So, we can from this IP header we can identify how the protocol works. Wireshark is a good tool to learn networking. Let us see another protocol, the TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. When you click on the plus sign, you can see TCP. These are the various fields of TCP header. TCP uses port numbers. The transport protocol, they require port numbers. So, there is source port and destination port. Since FTP requires 21 number as the well known port, here it is listed as 21. You can see different flags of TCP, whether ECN is enabled or not. You can see ECN is for explicit congestion notification. There is SYN flag, FIN flag, and so on. When a connection is being established, SYN will be on, the SYN flag will be set. When the connection is being terminated, FIN flag will be on, and there is window size. So, these are the technical details about the TCP protocol. Now, this packet is an acknowledgement to some segment. So, you can see the from this packet you can jump to some other packet as well. This is the hyperlink. When you click over here, you will see the original data packet. Here the Wireshark says this is an acknowledgement to the segment in so and so frame. You can see the acknowledgement flag is set, it is 1. That is why this packet is acknowledgement to some previous packet that carried data. Let us see another header. Now, this is TCP handshake. You can see the colorful lines over here, they identify the packets, each one is a packet. If you can see into details, you can see there is SYN packet, then there is SYN plus acknowledgement, and there is acknowledgement. So, these packets they identify TCP handshake. TCP is the connection oriented protocol, and before establishing a connection, handshake is done. So, using Wireshark you can identify how the handshake took place, what were the initial segment numbers at both the ends. Let us move ahead. This is another feature of Wireshark. You can create a flow graph. So, from the menu you can go to the flow graph, and when you click over here you will get this interface. You can select all packets that are captured or only those that are being displayed over here. It must be noted that Wireshark can capture hundreds or maybe thousands of packets, but over here the number of packets being displayed will be limited. We can also select whether we want general flow or only of the TCP flow. So, when you click over OK, you will get this kind of screen. It identifies the connection and the flow of data between two IP addresses. you can see there is source and destination. The first 3 packets they identify handshake, the handshake took place, and later on there is some kind of data transmission that is being carried out, and there are acknowledgements that are being carried out. So, such kind of flow graph can be generated for your own network. This is our own network, we have our own IP addresses, and you can see a flow graph. There is time stamping. So, when the packet was sent, when the acknowledgement arrived, you can see the time stamps. So, this column is the time stamp, and you can see the transmission is so fast, within a second lot of packets have already traveled. Now, we will move to the another section, that is filtering of packets. What do we identify by filtering? Now, as you have seen, there are various or several protocols. If I want to select few protocols or maybe a single protocol, then I can create a filter. I can create filter by protocol ID, I can create filter by IP addresses. For instance, I want to monitor IP from one source, I want to monitor packets that are arriving from some MAC address. I do not want each and every packet. I want to discard broadcast packets. I want to focus only on unicast packets. So, for which we can create filters. Let us quickly go through the filters, what kind of filters can be created. So, from this screen you can see filters can be created before capturing or while capturing. Here, when you click on capture filter, you will get this interface, whether you want to capture only IP packets, whether you want to capture TCP only packets, such kind of filters can be created. Let us see another filter. Once the packets are already captured, we can analyze using filters. So, when you see each packet, you can do lot of analysis. Wireshark supports some kind of operators, whether the IP address is present or equal to, not equal to, port number is greater than 50, port number is less than 50, packet contains certain data. Such kind of filters can be created through the Wireshark interface. So, these are already captured packets and we can create filters on this. Now, these are few examples. I can identify filters by IP addresses. I can say from this host. I can also identify the range of network from this network. The source can be identified, that I want to capture packets only from this source, the range of source, or we can say from this destination, or we can say I want to capture packets for particular port number. So, I can filter out by the port numbers as well. Now, port 53 identifies the DNS service. Let us see few other examples. We can also say port not 53 and not ARP. So, we capture packets except ARP and DNS packets. We can give the range of ports. I want to capture packets from so and so port number to so and so port number. We can capture only the IP traffic, or we can capture only unicast. So, when we say no, not broadcast and not multicast, means we are capturing only the unicast packets. Let us see few other features. Wireshark allows to save our packets. So, there is a save as option from the file menu. You can go to save as and you can save your captured packets. Wireshark has its own format of saving, or there are other formats. Few other softwares format can also be supported by Wireshark. There is also an option of exporting packets. So, when you click on export, you can create the list of packets into CSV file. This is one option, CSV, comma separated values. So, the packets captured in Wireshark can be exported into few other file formats. There is another interesting feature of generating graphs. You can generate the IO graphs, you can generate the round trip time or throughput graphs, how the data is traveling through your network with respect to time. So, such kind of graphical generation can be done. So, these are few features that are supported by Wireshark. When you explore Wireshark, you will come across lot of features. You can selectively go through each and every feature and you can easily identify how the network is behaving. So, friends, this was the discussion about Wireshark. First, I introduced you about packet sniffer, what is a packet sniffer, how it is done. Wireshark is a widely used packet sniffer which is open source and it is provided under GNU GPL license. So, we quickly went through the features that are provided by Wireshark. I had shown some screens how the packets will be displayed when we capture in Wireshark, and few other utilities like filters, creating graphs can be seen through the Wireshark interfaces. Wireshark is a huge software. It may take lot of time in learning Wireshark. You might have seen the colors. Each color identifies something. For example, if the packet is displayed in black, the line is in black color, means there is some error in the TCP packet or in the acknowledgement. So, each color has a significance. An experienced user can modify those colors. He can also filter out on the basis of colors. So, friends, please do explore the Wireshark software. It is very interesting. It will help in learning network and identifying what is going in your network. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. Thank you.